If you're thinking about moving to North Carolina, you might find yourself comparing Charlotte and Raleigh, North Carolina. I get calls and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move to North Carolina. And oftentimes I get the question, which city is better? And the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of points to compare. So stick around in today's video as we look through the different categories to see which city might be a better fit for you. When people think about moving to North Carolina, they often consider the two largest cities in the state, Charlotte and Raleigh. These two cities are roughly a 2.5-hour drive from one another, and you can even get an Amtrak train to go between the two. North Carolina's capital city is Raleigh, also called the City of Oaks, yet its largest city is Charlotte, also called the Queen City. Let's start by looking at the locations. When we take a look at the map, you can see that Raleigh is situated more central eastern, and it is closer to the coast than Charlotte. Whereas Charlotte is a little bit more western, closer to the mountains, and it's situated right on the border of North and South Carolina. From Raleigh, you can get to the closest beach, which is Wrightsville Beach, in about 2 hours. And you can get to Wilmington in about 2 hours as well. Now from Charlotte, the closest beach is Myrtle Beach, which is actually in South Carolina, and that'll take you about 3.5 hours. Another great feature in North Carolina are the mountains. And from Raleigh to get to the mountains, it's going to take you about 3 hours to get there. And from Charlotte, you can actually hit the mountains in about less than a 2-hour drive. So based on location alone, if you're going to be spending more time at the beach, you may choose Raleigh. And if you are going to spend more time at the mountains, you might choose Charlotte. Next up, let's compare the populations of these two cities. On a metro level, if we look at the Raleigh metro area, we're talking about 1.547 million people in the Raleigh metro area. As we already said, Charlotte is larger, and in the Charlotte metro area, we will have 2.204 million. Now, the Charlotte metro area is the 22nd largest in the US. Now, if we compare just the population of each city, we can look at a source called World Population Review. And Raleigh has 480,419 people, whereas Charlotte is almost doubling that at 903,211. Charlotte is going to be the largest city in North Carolina and the second largest city in the southeastern US after Jacksonville, Florida. Next, we'll compare the vibe and culture of our two cities. If someone were to ask me the vibe of Charlotte, I would really consider that a big city vibe. Charlotte is very condensed into the uptown area, into Charlotte City, and honestly, it is way more densely compacted, and it has much more of a big city vibe. So if you think about big cities and activities and events, nightlife, that sort of thing, that's what I think about Charlotte. Now, Raleigh, even though it's the second largest city in the state, has a much different vibe. It feels more suburban, has a lot more nature lovers, and it has more of a quieter feel. And Raleigh is just all around, it's more spread out. So it's not all about just the downtown area. It's more of a spread out feel. Anywhere you go in North Carolina, you're going to see that Southern charm. We have people moving to this state nationally and internationally, lots of relocations every single day. So people are moving here for a great reason. You're going to have a similar culture to both areas. Now, let's talk a little bit about museums. In Charlotte, we have museums like the Harvey B. Gantt Center for African American Arts and Culture, the Beckler Museum of Modern Arts, the Mint Museum, and even the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And we also have the Blumenthal Performing Arts Center for things like the opera or different shows like that. Now, because Raleigh is our state capital, and they also have 3 major colleges in the area, they are not short of any museums and culture. They'll have museums like the North Carolina Museum of Art, the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences, the North Carolina Museum of History, the Contemporary Art Museum, plus they're going to have things like the Duke Center for the Performing Arts and the Durham Performing Arts Center, also called DPAC. I mentioned Durham, and a lot of times when we're talking about Raleigh, they're actually referring to the entire triangle area, which is actually Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. So keep in mind that a lot of things that are considered to be Raleigh might actually be taking place in those other cities as well. You'll definitely find colleges and universities in both cities. Let's talk about the ones you'll see in Charlotte first. You'll find the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, Queen's University of Charlotte, Davidson College, which is located just a little bit north of Charlotte in Davidson, North Carolina. I actually did a whole video on Davidson. You should definitely check it out. It's up in the cards. And you'll also find some community colleges, such as Central Piedmont Community College. Now, Raleigh definitely has us beat on colleges. You're going to recognize these names as being pretty important. North Carolina State University is located in Raleigh. UNC Chapel Hill is obviously located in Chapel Hill, and Duke University is located in Durham. There are also plenty of community colleges like Wake Tech Community College, which is the largest community college in the state. If you're basing your decision on education alone, it's obvious that Raleigh takes the cake on this one. They have much more clout when it comes to colleges and universities. However, if you're basing your decision on sports, Charlotte definitely takes the cake. Here in Charlotte, we have the NFL team, the Carolina Panthers. We have the Charlotte Hornets NBA team. We have a brand new soccer team, Charlotte FC. We also have a minor league baseball team, the Charlotte Knights, a minor league hockey team, the Charlotte Checkers. We also have some college teams, but they are not going to be as well known as our Raleigh counterparts. And I cannot forget to mention NASCAR. We have the Charlotte Motor Speedway here as well. If you're looking for sports in Raleigh, they do have an NHL team, the Carolina Hurricanes, minor league baseball team, the Durham Bulls, and of course, their college basketball teams are nationally known for football, baseball, and basketball. My husband is a huge Duke fan, so that is definitely going to be something he would care about. No matter which city you move to, you will find amazing things to do. It's all a matter of which ones are going to be more interesting to you. In Charlotte, we have great things like Carowinds, which is an awesome amusement park owned by Cedar Fair, and it's actually situated right on the North Carolina-South Carolina border, so that half of the park is in either state. We also have the U.S. Whitewater Center. We have 2 wonderful lakes, Lake Norman and Lake Wylie. Lake Norman is the largest man-made lake in the state. We have an extensive greenway trail. It's 62 miles of greenway, and they're consistently adding more every year. We have great parks like Freedom Park, and don't forget Uptown Charlotte. Our downtown area is called Uptown, and you can find tons of things to do right in the city center. One of the resources you'll find in the description below is a list of some of the best things you'll find to do in Uptown Charlotte. On the flip side, Raleigh has some great stuff to do too. They have the North Carolina State Fair, the State Farmers Market, tons and tons of parks. Some worth mentioning are Pullen Park, Dix Park, and Umstead Park. They have the Sarah P. Duke Gardens, the Duke University Lemur Center. Downtown Durham has a very well-known food scene. Falls Lake Recreation Area, Raleigh Greenway, which actually has over 112 miles of trail, and of course downtown Raleigh. It's not as large as Charlotte, but you'll still find plenty of things to do. Definitely check out the Glenwood South area. That's very trendy. Let's bring this down to restaurants. Now, neither one of these areas is extremely well known for a certain kind of cuisine, but basically anything you would like to find, you'll find in either city. Something that's kind of trendy right now are food halls, and both cities have a couple worth mentioning. In Charlotte, we have the 7th Street Public Market and Optimist Hall. Be sure to check those out if you're in the Charlotte area. And Raleigh, they have Morgan Street Food Hall and the Transfer Food Hall. All right, let's talk shopping. If we're talking about grocery stores, both Raleigh and Charlotte will have all of your regulars like Harris Teeter, Publix, Lidl, Aldi, Whole Foods, and Trader Joe's, not to mention places like Sam's Club and Costco. However, Raleigh has us beat with having 4 Wegmans locations. Now, I had never heard of Wegmans until I moved here. And in Charlotte, one of the things that happens on all of the Facebook groups is saying, we need a Wegmans. We don't have any here yet, but it is something that clearly I had been missing out on my entire life because a lot of people are obsessed with this grocery store. In Charlotte, we have the South Park Mall, which is a high-end luxury mall. We also have some smaller malls like the Concord Mills Mall in Concord and the Carolina Place Mall in Pineville. Raleigh has 2 primary malls, and they're not going to be the high-end luxury malls. They're just going to be your traditional malls. But they have the Crabtree Valley Mall and the South Point Mall. All right, the next thing we're going to compare are the economy and jobs market. Both cities are very thriving, so you won't make a mistake in moving to either one. Let's talk about Charlotte first. Charlotte is the number 2 largest banking center in the country after New York City. And it also is a pretty big health hub as well. Some of our largest employers here are Duke Energy, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo. One of the resources down below will show some of the other large employers in the Charlotte region. The Raleigh area is pretty well known for something called the Research Triangle Park. It's actually kind of situated between Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. It's called the RTP, and many people even think of it as the Silicon Valley of the East. It is the largest research park in the United States. Here you'll find hundreds of different companies in areas such as science, technology, government, biology, academic institutions, and healthcare. Some of the largest employers in Raleigh are WakeMed Hospital, UNC Healthcare, Rex Hospital, Duke Hospital, as well as tons of government and education jobs. Be sure to check out the resources down below to find out more about the job market in Raleigh. As a real estate agent, of course, one of the most important topics to me is housing. Both cities are hot real estate markets, and tons of people are moving to both every single day. Realtor.com has some great information regarding the median listing price and median sold price of homes in both cities. I'll definitely put these links below, but let's take a look at these. First off, Charlotte. The median listing home price in August 2022 was $424,000, and the median sold price in August 2022 was $400,000. And there's a really great graph. If you scroll down a little bit, you can see exactly what has been happening in the market over the last few years. You can see that we are still in a seller's market. Let's move over to the Raleigh tab and check out the details there. In Raleigh, the median listing home price was $444,000 in August 2022, which is a little bit higher than in Charlotte. And their median home price sold is $410,000, again, just a little bit higher than Charlotte's number. So let's go ahead and scroll down to their graph, and you can see that theirs was much more of a steady increase over the pandemic market compared to Charlotte's. And of course, Raleigh is also still in a strong seller's market. Down in the description, I have resources on both of these markets. If you're moving to Charlotte, I would absolutely love to help you. My number is on the screen for you. However, if you're moving to Raleigh, I can still help. I have a very active referral network, and I know some amazing real estate agents in the Raleigh area. If you give me a call, I can help connect you. Next up is a topic everyone dreads: transportation. Both of these cities have experienced rapid growth, and because of that, they're going to see similar traffic and transportation issues. Charlotte has an active bus system called the Charlotte Area Transit System, but they also have a light rail system. The light rail system is probably what sets us most apart from Raleigh because they do not have that yet. I have heard that it is in the plans though. Charlotte also has one of the busiest airports in the world. It's actually in the top 10, the Charlotte Douglas International Airport. Besides that, you'll also find scooters and bikes to rent in Uptown. Raleigh has their city bus system called Go Raleigh, and they do also have an international airport as well, but it is a bit smaller than Charlotte's. And just like in Charlotte, you can rent scooters and bikes downtown. Last up in this video, we're going to compare the ratings from niche.com. Niche.com is a great website for comparing cities, suburbs, and even schools, and I use it all the time. This website bases their information on millions of independent reviews as well as government data. And they ranked Charlotte number 32 in the best places to live in America. They gave Charlotte an A rating. Raleigh ranks number 17 in best cities to live in America, and they got ranked A+. You'll definitely want to check out the information in the description below to find out more about these two cities. There you have it. Both cities are amazing, and no matter which one you choose, you're making a great choice. If you have any questions about Charlotte or Raleigh, please leave them in the comments below or reach out. My number's on the screen for you. I hope this video helped a little bit on your journey to either Charlotte or Raleigh. Thanks for watching. Bye.